Well, you are, not me. Time to get boots on the ground!
It's Jeffrey's War. Are you a pathetic gooner looking for love?
Aren't we all? Well, we've got plenty of ladies.
And they're just waiting for liberation.
All you have to do is beat our challenge.
It's time to roll the die on your lives!
Let's see what these boys won. It's crippling PTSD and higher gas prices.
A brand new luxury casket!
You answered C, and you are correct.
Do you have what it takes to play with Jeff Correct?
We want you to play Jeffrey's War. Your local TV listings.
Propaganda very strong. Good morning. Rise and freedom. I'm Austin Petersen. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show on the For Liberty Network. And happy birthday, Stephanie Petersen. Sorry it's such a...
On Sunday, March 15th, it'll be my birthday. So this is, the last time we talked to you before then.
Say happy birthday, Steffi. Looking good for 29. Thank you, Drew Van Runkle.
Well, you told your dad I'm going to be 50. So now everybody thinks I'll be 50. My mom says I look 15. So, I mean, I'm just getting all kinds of ages thrown at me. I'll be 38. I'm not like most of those women who are like, don't ask my age. How dare you, right? It's like, it's an age, okay?
Let's be real here. My wife looks good. She looks amazing.
I still feel very young, I'll be honest. I still feel like I'm in my 20s.
You got a great body.
Thank you. I'm actually, my weight is less than it was in my 20s. So, there you go, guys.
My weight is less than it was yesterday. I've lost...
Yeah.
significant poundage. Muscles are coming back, man. June is busting out all over, and so am I. Good morning. Rise and freedom. I'm Austin Petersen. This is my wife, Stephanie. It's her birthday. Drop some Rumble Rants for your birthday. Bad news. We've got the good news. We've got the good wife. Bad news is no brother today, so don't be mad.
Oh.
Don't be mad.
Yes.
No Justin.
Yes.
We like to just try and give people a good time on Fridays. That's how we structure the Freedom Family Friday shows, is that we really just want you to feel good and laugh and have a good time. And, even when there's serious subjects, people don't like this about me, but I have a dark sense of humor and I laugh at things even when it's in dark times. That's how I cope. I'll make a joke. If we were like those people on that life raft the other day, Stephanie.
Oh, we've been watching I Shouldn't Be Alive.
I Shouldn't Be Alive, and these people were out, they were stranded in the life raft.
Yep.
If we were those people, I would be the guy who would be cracking jokes about getting eaten by a shark,
Well, that's what I was watching an episode last night, and the guys, they were stranded in Mexico on a desert island, and they were using jokes to stay alive.
Yeah, I'd be like, that shark can't eat me because my penis is too big, So just because I'm just trying to make people feel good.
You have to. Yeah, you have to use humor to keep going sometimes.
It's how you survive. It's how you survive in this world, because when you experience tragedy at a young age, or you see it up close, you have to find healthy coping mechanisms.
Yeah, why do you think they send comedians out to military bases?
I don't know, but
because they need to entertain the people and get their minds off of things.
Who can we send to the Ramadan festival and teach Muslims how to lighten the fuck up?
Oh boy, yeah, it is Ramadan. That's true.
Ramadan, very violent holiday.
Is it?
Appears to be. Joel Ledamore says, happy birthday. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you, Joel. I know you've really been supporting us a lot lately. I see all of your orders come through.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Truly grateful, brother. We added a new staffer. Puts a little more pressure on me. So, your financial generosity is much appreciated. We're doing everything we can to grow over here at the For Liberty Network. And as you can see, with the addition of the 5th show, Cafecito Libre, we are growing. We had a young man I spoke to yesterday who... It was unbelievable. I didn't even know if he was going to donate at all. He ended up becoming a Petersen's Patriot. He subscribed at $17.76 a month, and he wrote me a $1,000 check to build the For Liberty Network. I was just like, couldn't come at a better time, bro. Love it. Thank you so much. Thank you to all for all of your generosity. Trust me, we are definitely using the funds wisely. And when we're not using it to grow the network, I feed it directly to Hazel in the form of milk and cheese and broccoli. And she likes broccoli, so.
Yeah, I see rants coming through right now.
Yeah, they're being very generous. And I hope we hit the $100 level. I think we will. If so, then we do have the mini documentary to unlock. So hit that $100 level and we will unlock the mini documentary for today. I've got a million fun topics and interesting news, but I don't think we can get away from this discussion about what happened in Michigan and at Old Dominion. And all of this happened, Stephanie, in the background of two other terror attacks that have occurred. One in Austin, Texas, a mass shooting with a shooter that was wearing a shirt that says, Allah is my God.
Oh my gosh.
And then the two Muslims who committed a terrorist attack in New York City the other day.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Remember the guys who threw a bomb? You might have missed it, but it happened in the last 48 hours.
I missed that one.
Yep,
I
reported on it a couple of days ago here on the show.
Those guys look like they're black. Are they from Somalia or something?
Yeah, probably. Depending. I didn't memorize the nationality of all four of them in the last 4 days.
There are Muslim black people too.
Yeah, in Africa. We have African blacks and Middle East. There's a lot of black Muslims in the Middle East. But I used to be, Stephanie, maybe closer to open borders. I used to be more of a Cato Institute libertarian when it comes to immigration.
Yeah.
But I think I've pretty fully and thoroughly changed my mind. I no longer am that.
So you used to believe people could just cross over the border with no papers, nothing?
No
test?
No, I always believed in like the Ellis Island style protocols in regards to what there should be a security screening process and all that kind of stuff. But I think I'm actually a little bit more convinced that we do need to discriminate in terms of
racially profile at the border.
No, I'm not even saying necessarily racially profile because if you're black and if you'll eat a piece of bacon and pet a dog on the way in.
Well, that excludes Jewish people. They wouldn't be able to eat bacon.
Well, Jews get it because we're discriminating because we'll respect.
Feed them a piece of kugel, and then
here's the thing.
And then the other people have to eat bacon.
Here's the problem. The problem is that Jews and Muslims are not on the same level. Now, the Nazis would disagree with this. The Nazis hate the Jews more than they hate Muslims. They hate everybody, but Jews and Muslims, it's like Jews the most.
Yeah.
And then I think race traders, and then. So white people who like Jews, like me. And then it's Muslims because they actually, many of them get along quite well. Nazis get along quite well with Muslims because they have the same aims. They want to kill Jews and they want to destroy the West, conquer it, rule over the ashes. So these type of people have always existed throughout history. The United States has been dealing with the Barbary pirates since the beginning of the American Republic.
Right.
And there's always been this view. I think I'm not a non-immigration restrictionist. I'm also not a non-interventionist foreign policy wise, like I used to be.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I've changed my mind on immigration and foreign policy, right?
Which I think has made a lot of people upset with you.
Deeply upset. Yes. People accuse me of being paid $7,000 by Israel to believe what I believe, but I always kind of believed it. It's just that the circumstances of the world presented themselves to me in such a way that I had to follow my conscience.
Well, but I think people would debate with you on this one and say, this is blowback. We are intervening in Iran. This is why these things are happening. If we weren't starting wars in other countries, we would not be having attacks.
I used to think that, but I think the reason why that's naive is because it assumes that, Muhammad, and Muhammad here are on equal parity.
They're all
with
named
us.
Muhammad?
No. But
oh, okay.
I'm sure, maybe, probably. 2 out of 3, 2 out of 4, for sure.
They have a middle name of Muhammad.
I'm sorry I did not memorize all 4 of their names. But I will say that, no, I don't think that they're on parity. I don't think they get parity treatment. I don't think that they get equality. They don't get it because they aren't capable of sustaining it. So, Ayn Rand, she talked about dictatorships overseas, and she was talking about Germany and Soviet Union at the time, but she would have easily, agreed, I would think, with me in saying that many of these countries, like Iran or others, are the slave pens that she wrote about in a essay called On Dictatorship, when she talked about what constitutes a dictatorship. So she would have said that those countries have no rights not to be invaded, meaning that if you're a slave pen, then you don't get parity treatment as a nation. Blowback assumes that these other countries are rational and that they behave rationally, but I think that they've demonstrated that they don't behave rationally. So in other words, when Trump is trying to stop Iran from getting the nuclear bomb, it's because we recognize that these people are children on the world stage. It's to accept that, it's like.
Well, they're very vindictive. They believe in
deeply vindictive. Yes,
they believe in like an eye for an eye. So it's like if they've had their family killed, then they want to kill someone else's family.
Right. Well, even in that sense, if that's true, Vivian gave you $10. Says thank you, Vivian.
Thank you, Vivian. I've never seen you here.
No, first time here. We first of all deeply grateful and wonderful to meet you, and thank you for your generosity.
What did she say?
Oh, she said happy birthday.
Oh.
I think it's a Vivian. Could be Vivi N-O-J. Not sure. But it's your first time here. Please introduce yourself. We'd love to meet you. So I've changed my mind on some things like foreign policy, Stephanie, and I've changed my mind on some things regarding immigration. And I call myself a libertarian nationalist because I think Donald Trump is right about a lot of things. I think he's right about a lot of things, and I was wrong. And I want to be able to change my mind if I have come across new information that contradicts my deeply held convictions, even if they are deeply held convictions. I think that's a sign of growing up in some circles. And some people say you're flip-flop or wishy-washy, selling out for a cause. But
there was a time where I was pro-abortion when I was younger, and now I'm pro-life. So I guess you could say that I'm flip-flopping too. It's just when you're younger, your values are very different. You're more self-centered.
yes.
You don't know as much. So you just think about your life and how something impacts you. You're more easily brainwashed to believe other people. So I understand.
Yeah.
But I think I'm probably not as far as you are in terms of the war thing. I still believe in non-intervention to an extent. So it's like I'm still about like self-defense in terms of America. So if someone has an actual threat to us, I believe, we should defend ourselves.
Do you remember in karate when I was teaching you how to defend yourself and I was kind of harassing you up against the wall and you were trying to defend yourself?
Yeah.
What was the lesson there?
I was trying to defend myself.
Remember, and you couldn't remember and you weren't hitting me back. And I just kept coming at you and kept coming at you and you just kept trying to block it. And you kept what happened?
Well, I gave up.
Why?
Because it was too much.
Right. But what was the lesson that I was trying to teach you? When I had you up against the wall and you kept trying to block.
Oh, I just have to keep blocking myself. No, have a shield.
I've failed as a teacher. Okay. So
I don't know. I was just so terrified. I'm not sure.
The lesson was
don't be there.
No. The lesson in that lesson was hit back.
Well, yeah, I was trying to.
Yeah.
But sometimes people are stronger.
That is true, but if somebody's stronger than you, and you're fighting for Hazel's life, well, I've taught you, it doesn't matter. You fight like you're going to.
Well, yeah, still try to fight. Still try to fight.
I think I think we probably need to do a training session this weekend because you sound like you've gone a bit soft. Okay, so here's the thing. Remember, Stephanie, I'm trusting you to help keep Hazel safe, okay? So remember,
your specific example, I wasn't sure what you were meaning by this.
This was kind of a big deal because you were really upset about it, and I had to tell you, you can't just defend yourself.
Oh, yeah, now that you're talking about it. Yeah, like in a self-defense situation, you try your hardest to stay alive and protect everybody.
You can't just block everything.
No,
you're gonna get hit.
Of course, yes.
So is the hit blowback, or is it part of the whole series of escalating provocations that lead up to?
I'm defending myself. That's self-defense. That was a threat, so I have to throw punches to defend myself.
Is there a statute of limitations on such a thing? So like if Iran bombed and killed American Marines in 1983, killed 280, I think, some odd American Marines.
Right.
What's the statute of limitations on that? Guess what? We found out 2026. Thank you, Mr. Trump.
I mean,
in 1983, Iran with Hezbollah using state-sponsored terror killed 200 and some odd Marines. Somebody tell me the number in the chat. And I wonder how long we were supposed to sit back and just sort of let that happen. Trump claims that they almost had a nuclear weapon, and they're children. They have displayed themselves to be children on the world stage. They've displayed themselves to be unfit for civilization, for civilized society, and therefore, I think many of them lied on their immigration forms to come to the United States. They should be denaturalized and they should be deported. And I don't want to hear any complaints. I see this as a legitimate defense to a series of provocations and attempts to murder and successful attempts to murder American citizens on American soils. It's time to go home, Mohammed.
Yeah. It's so hard to know who people really are. You would think with the internet nowadays, you could figure it out pretty quick. But these people over there in these countries, they don't really have an internet footprint, I don't think. I doubt they're using Facebook actively or Twitter like we do here.
Yeah. So, did you hear about what happened with the University of Dominion students? They beat the attacker to death. Way to go, boys!
That's cool. And they didn't even have a weapon to beat them with.
I know. Well, and you know what? And that's wrong and they're talking about campus carry on certain campuses across the country. I saw in New Hampshire they were talking about campus carry.
You would think Virginia Tech would want it too. They were attacked like years and years and years ago. They were like one of the first attacks ever.
How was he deceased?
There were students who were in that room that subdued him and rendered him no longer alive.
Wow, she's really great with her words.
Rendered him no longer alive.
Why can't she say killed him?
There were students. Come on, you're an American lady.
Wow, I wonder who these students were that killed him. Did they come forward?
I don't know who they are.
They're probably keeping them.
But I want to know who they are, and I want to buy them a beer and invite them on this show.
Wow, those are some very brave students.
If any of those students hear that right now, let me know. Give me a call. I got a job and a scholarship for you. Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest. As a smaller woman, I don't think I could take down an ISIS shooter by myself. So I'm not sure that I would be the one to start rushing. I would probably hope that there were some bigger men there that would be able to actually knock him down. I just don't know how helpful I could really be with my size.
Well, here's the thing. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you are correct. Okay? So first, let me just say that I hope that you're right. I hope you don't have to fight them.
If it was just me and them, of course I would try to fight for my life. But it's like if I'm in a group of people and there's some larger people in there that look more muscular than me, I probably would let them try first.
We've had this discussion before when we're doing karate training. But I'll say it to you again, and please remember that if you are fighting for your life, if you are fighting to defend our daughter, and it's just you and there are no big, burly men to protect you, then you have to believe in yourself.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
No, not for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I want you to say to put yourself in your mind that I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill them and I'm going to live. But if I'm going to die, I'm taking them with me. That's your attitude.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If you must die with Hazel alive underneath you and both of your corpses are there. Okay. I will mourn you.
Yeah.
But I will know that by teaching you this, you will have protected our daughter's life. So just remember that a lot of it's in your head. It's like these kids that we're teaching in these classes. I'm like, it's in your mind, and I'm applying this to the concept of standing on one leg. You can see it. It's about there's a certain mindset that you have. There's a warrior mindset, and it applies to something as small as can I stand on one leg and hold myself still? All the way up to, can I claw Muhammad's eyes out and rip his jugular open with my fingernails before he dies? It applies all the way up. That's a mindset.
Yeah.
Oh, ROTC kids. They were ROTC kids?
Oh, that's why.
Good.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so they were trained to do this.
Well, yeah, to an extent. But good job, ROTC boys.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, it's amazing they were able to get to him before he started shooting at them.
Yeah.
That doesn't normally happen. Usually they just start, they just start blazing.
Yeah. I'm looking at...
Oh, is that him?
It says victim in ISIS-inspired attack at Old Dominion, professor of military science. He was a veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom. So there were victims. Looks like he got Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw.
We've just learned.
Yeah.
The name of the person who died in the terror attack at Old Dominion University today. He was Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw. You see him on your screen. Voorhees University identified him in a social media post, sending condolences to his family and the ODU community. 2 other people were hurt when a gunman opened fire on campus today. One is in critical condition. We will keep you updated on this story throughout the night.
Now, this one was not an attack against Jewish people at all. It doesn't sound like.
Well, it looks like it's an attack on, an ostensibly military target.
Yes, so this was military. So Old Dominion, is that a military school?
I'm sorry?
Is Old Dominion a military school or something?
I don't know if it's classified as such,
Here.
but it probably has a military contingent. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
It's a public university in Norfolk, Virginia. And it's a public research university, 2-year... It was established in 1930 as a part of the College of William and Mary. The school became...
Oh, it's a military... There's a military connection center.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's probably what it was that they were attacking the military connection.
It's a military-friendly institution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here we go.
Did they describe those people at all?
The description of the shooter, they said he was a Muslim man. I know he was a student at ODU.
Was the shooter? Did they
he was a
describe those people at all?
Yeah. Muhammad Jalal is the name that they're reporting right now for the Old Dominion shooter. So Muhammad, another King Muhammad.
So now this one, you could say is possible blowback if he was trying to attack like military
Well,
stuff,
here's the thing,
right?
though. But here's the problem with that. No, it's still not blowback because... If Iran has terror cells that are currently stationed here in the United States, and their purpose is to be ready to attack the United States, that is a violation of our sovereignty. That is a violation of our national security. Yeah. That is if I send people into your country for the express purpose of getting ready to activate them as sleeper cells, and especially if the purpose is not to attack even just the military like this, you could say, well, it's a military target. But they also attacked a school. They shot up an Austin bar. They're attacking civilian targets. They tried to kill the preschool.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's not a military
depending
target.
on the level of coordination that's going on here, which we can't say for sure on all 4 of them, however, but that in itself is a violation of the non-aggression principle, in my mind.
Yeah, but don't we have military bases in almost like every country around the world?
And yes, and
we technically have sleeper cells, right?
And did you know that those military bases are invited there? Did you know that those countries want those?
We help defend them.
You goddamn right we do, and we probably shouldn't. And you know what? Not because it's of a national defense reason, but because they're so goddamn ungrateful, many of them. And
I'm sure in the Middle East they don't want us to be there.
Oh, that is not true. That is not true. Here's the thing.
Some of the people want us there.
You can't look at the Middle East.
The Persians
The
do.
Middle East is not a monolith, okay? They're not all the same. They all hate each other, okay? So they all want to have an American military base in their country. They just want it to be used against the country that they hate.
Right.
They all hate Iraq. Iraq hates Iran. Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, United Arab Emirates all hate Iraq and Iran. It's a mess. It's a mess. So the whole concept is, throw your hands up then. We don't understand it. It's too complicated. Let's just pull out entirely. Okay, well, you could make some arguments here and there. I'm still willing to say maybe Pax Americana, policing the world, maybe it's not a good idea. Until you see how much control these terrorist regimes have over international shipping and are threatening international shipping like oil through the Strait of Hormuz.
That's why the gas prices are going so high. I was just reading an article about how if you take a flight anytime soon, the prices are going to start to jump.
So, which is to say that, I'm sorry, but if you are a terrorist regime and you are threatening international shipping, causing havoc, that's an app violation.
Oh, yeah, that's a threat.
Therefore, blasting the shit out of you, in my mind, is a perfectly legitimate self-defense. Perfectly legitimate act of self-defense. Because peaceful trade, voluntary trade going through the Strait of Hormuz, right, should be allowed. It should be.
But we should just attack them and get out. I think we're still there in Iran, aren't we?
They're still doing a bombing campaign from the air.
It's been over a week.
Okay, well, guess what? This is, when you're engaged in a conflict, the other person gets a say too. That's why when you watch karate videos and you see them just like beating people up and they're not responding to it and saying, this is how you do this secret move. The truth is that things are a lot bloodier and dirtier, and the opponent gets a say too.
Right.
They get to fight back. So the question about oil prices, the United States is going to be fine. We're the number one oil producer in the world.
I know.
And we will be for a long time.
Yeah.
We've got Venezuela starting to pump its way on with us. So we can wait them out. I don't want oil prices or gas prices to go up. I'd love for there to never be a war. But when you see Muhammad attacking children, murdering our military on our soil, then I'm sorry, it's time to stop treating you at parity level. You are not at the League of Nations. You are not at civilization
I just
level.
don't know when these attacks will stop.
You are a bug. You are an insect, and we will destroy you.
Yeah,
would you like to know more?
But like, even if, we've already obliterated most of the leadership out in Iran, right? So they're gone. So it's like, when will it stop?
Until the last. Listen, you cannot kill an idea, but you can kill everyone who holds that idea.
Well, I don't think that would be very nice either.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Stephanie, because I think probably the only way we're going to be able to save the world and save ourselves and save our children is that we're going to have to do things that's going to make women feel uncomfortable sometimes. Sometimes we're going to have to do things every once in a while that are going to make women cry and be like, that's so mean. And I'm like, I know, but I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's unfortunate, but we've allowed this sort of like niceness to pervade our society. I think we've been too nice. We've been too nice. We've been too tolerant.
Yes, so we have been too nice about who we let in, what we allow them to do. So we do need to crack down on that.
Yeah, we've been too nice. We've been too nice. You are not at parity on the League of Nations, and therefore you do not get the same privileges that American citizens do.
But then it's like, we see that video of the people in Dearborn chanting about how they want them all dead. They want to
kill
everybody,
yeah.
right? At what point is that not freedom of speech? Because isn't that their freedom to just say, I want to kill whoever, right?
No, absolutely not. You have
that is a direct threat, so technically you can report that if they're saying, I'm going to kill so-and-so, this is my plan.
Correct.
That is a threat.
Yes.
But it's freedom of speech to just say, I hate these people. I want them to die.
Yeah. You can't say that. You can't say that. And honestly, I think if they believe that, then they lied on their immigration forms.
Oh, absolutely.
If they say that, then that means that they lied. And so therefore, they should be denaturalized and deported. If I lie on a form that I fill out to buy a gun in this country, I will be deported to my local county jail.
What happens to the America-hating Americans? That are truly born here, raised here. Like, what do we do with those people? Where do we send those people?
I will trade every leftist, Democrat, female woman who hates this country for one Persian baddie, please. One Persian baddie. Speaking of baddies, Let's change the subject for a minute now. And the glorious military. This video is making the rounds, Stephanie, and boy, is it making women angry.
Oh my gosh. This is not America. Oh my God. She's in a church. That looks like a church. How many of those military men do you think were able to have a piece of her?
None. Or maybe a dozen. It's either none or 100.
Oh my gosh. She's like the military prostitute.
Well, I mean, like USO shows, they always send in beautiful women for the USO shows.
I mean, this literally looks like a striptease.
You know
kind
why?
of thing
You know
going
why
on.
the
That's
liberal women
funny.
are mad about that? It's because that's a woman and not a man, right there. That's a real woman, and that's
Oh well. I mean, I'm sure any gay men who are in that audience are not pleased.
They're probably not even there. Or the gay men in the gay men who are there is the one playing the piano. So.
Yeah, that's the only military I know of where I don't see any women.
Yeah.
I wonder where the women are.
Yeah. So you know that movie that I kind of obsess about sometimes, Starship Troopers? Have you heard of it? Yeah. In the book version of Starship Troopers, remember we're talking about these are young men in the military. So it's like in Starship Troopers, they say the last thing that every man who goes to war hears before he goes into combat is a video recording of a woman saying "good luck," and that is a powerful physical statement.
Oh, is that really true?
Yeah, in the book.
So
In the book, Starship Troopers, before they send the boys into conflict, all of the boys get a video message from a girl telling them good luck. and it's like it's the same it's the same concept. Like, why do you think they used to do those old USO shows there?
Well,
you know?
I mean, I do feel bad for men because they do have a lot of testosterone, and when you're out there alone without women, it can be very frustrating.
Yeah,
lots of sexual tension going on there.
First of all, like these young men, like they're going to be sent off. Some of them are going to be killed.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell them that like this is inappropriate. They shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
This is something that they,
I mean, they need this.
You damn right they do.
I hate to say it, but sexual needs are real.
Yes. What do you mean hate to say it? What's wrong with saying?
Well, I'm saying,
sexual needs are real.
I hate to, condone like strippers and stuff, but
Stephanie,
they're necessary.
Remember when I said we're going to have to do things that make women sad?
Right.
Guess what?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't think it was tasteful to have a male stripper with a banana hammock either at a military performance.
They probably do. That's
what I'm saying. I hate to say it, but it's probably necessary.
No,
for women, it's not. Okay,
No.
like we don't need a man in a banana hammock
Stephanie,
to keep us fighting.
you don't
I'm
know
sorry.
these women in the military. They would love a man in a banana hammock. I promise you.
They'd probably like a woman actually because they're so manly.
Stephanie, stop it.
I mean,
no. Stop. It is so powerful. It is so important.
yes.
We're going to have to do things that make women a little bit uncomfortable in society. But I mean, they should feel uncomfortable enough because a lot of these leftist females are in big trouble right now. And I'll show you why. If I could ever find the clip. Here it is.
I've read in the papers that we are able to engage and fight in a war in the way we haven't been able to in the past, that we've regained our deterrent capabilities. And partly, obviously, it's the men and women on the front line that deserve most of the credit. But, the fact that you can now target more precisely.
Damn it. Austin screwed up. Got the wrong clip.
Oh.
Wah, wah, wah.
That man from Palantir, he really talks very slowly and takes forever to explain his points.
Alex
I noticed
Karp.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's very, very smart, but he just, his speaking skills it's tough to follow him.
Yeah, he's
sometimes.
got that strong nerd,
Yeah.
that strong nerd vibe. Here we go. This is the discussion on the AI liberal Democrat angle.
Industry has to support the warfighter. The one thing that I think even now is underestimated by all actors in industry, and including in Silicon Valley, is how disruptive these technologies are. If you are going to disrupt the economic and therefore political power significantly of one party space, highly educated, often female voters who vote mostly Democrat, and military and working class people who do not feel supported, and you feel like you believe that that's going to work out politically, you're in an insane asylum. Like that you cannot, this technology disrupts humanity-trained, largely Democratic voters, and makes their economic power less, and increases the economic power of vocationally trained, working class, often male voters. And so these disruptions are going to disrupt every aspect of our society. And to make this work, we have to come to an agreement of what it is we're going to do with the technology.
Were you able to kind of suss out? There was a little bit of
I don't know
glitch.
what he's talking about.
So
Like, again, he uses word salad. He just kind of like goes all over the place.
I will decode it, and hopefully it'll be a little less glitchy. Hold on a second.
How disruptive these technologies are.
So he's talking about AI and how destructive the technologies are. What are going to be some of the socioeconomic changes that are coming?
If you are going to disrupt the economic and therefore political power significantly of one party space, highly educated.
One party, so one political party's base. He's talking the Democrats here. He's saying highly educated. Here he goes.
Often female voters who vote mostly Democrat.
So AI is going to disrupt a class of society. Mostly highly educated, liberal female Democrat women is what he's saying, because AI is going to be taking their jobs.
Yeah.
And military and working class people who do not feel supported, and you feel like you believe that that's going to work out politically, you're in an insane asylum. Like that you cannot have it. This technology disrupts humanities trained, largely Democratic voters.
It disrupts people who are trained in the humanities. Right? Think about education, the humanities and education, right? What are the humanities? Okay. So he's like, this is going to disrupt the people who are largely educated in the humanities.
And makes their economic power less, and increases the
makes their economic power less.
Makes them poor.
Economic power of vocationally trained, working class, often male. Power of vocationally trained.
So then on the other side,
economic power less, and increases the economic power of vocationally trained, working class, often male voters. And so these disruptions are going to disrupt every aspect of our society.
Yes, this is huge because I talked a little bit about this in the AI course that I teach yesterday. But
you can still join the AI course at forlibertyshop.com.
You certainly can. If you're looking to not get behind the curve on AI, then join my AI for Creators class. But this is huge because AI will take away jobs from people who studied in the humanities. So let's get a list of like what are the humanities.
Social work.
The humanities are academic disciplines that study the human experience, culture, and condition, covering history, literature, philosophy, and arts. They explore how people process, document, and make sense of existence. So, not to say that what he's predicting is necessarily going to come true, but there is some logic to this when you talk about who will be benefited by AI and who will be harmed by AI.
Sure.
So then we have a problem because do you think that those voters, those women, that they're going to just sit back and take that? You think, or is there going to be a backlash to it?
Oh, they'll be very upset. I'm sure they'll be picketing at some point and trying to get us to stop advancing in our AI, making restrictions on it, regulations.
Oh, yeah.
I had lost a client not too long ago who was unhappy that my platform was using AI during therapy sessions because the liberal people on these platforms, they're very upset that AI is now being used. So it's already starting to affect services just in terms of like liberal people seeking care. If they hear AI as any part of that business, they go somewhere else. So they try to only associate with businesses that are anti-AI, which I don't think any businesses are really anti-AI anymore. Most every business is using AI that I'm aware of.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we're using it and learning how to use it and adding it, to ourselves. I mean, we're basically part robot over here at the For Liberty Network, and it's helping.
Yeah.
It's helping a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you'll never be able to truly replace human contact. AI robots, I mean, we watch things all the time where we're like, oh, I think this is real. And we're like, no, it's AI. What? So you can be faked out pretty easily, but there's still just something off. There's something about our human intuition where we can just tell that we're not talking to another human. But I'm sure that'll get harder and harder to decipher as time goes on.
Looks like we unlocked the bonus content, phase 1 today. Way to go, guys.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you very much.
If you're just tuning into the Wake Up America show, we're glad and thankful to have you here. I'm your host, Austin Petersen. This is my wife, Stephanie. And what can't AI replace? Mothers, says Arvold. Very true. Nobody could replace my Steffi, who's the mom of our Hazel.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, so I guess these liberal women, but that's the last thing they want to be is mothers. They don't want to have kids.
Well, they
want to work.
There will be AI robot mothers at some point.
Yes.
As sad as that it sounds.
Yeah, I mean, there's already like AI or robot like cleaning people and, people that can actually do services. So yeah, there'll be AI cleaning ladies. And I'm sure there'll be AI caretakers.
Well, let me ask you something. Would you like to invite, ISIS McMohammed Shakur from Somalia to be your nanny, or would you just rather have a robot?
Yeah, I think I would have a robot. I already have a robot. I have a robot vacuum cleaner.
Oh, that's right.
It goes around in the house. And I'm totally okay with that.
Yes. So, I mean, honestly, I would rather... I don't care if it's if it's a choice between like a hot Swedish au pair to come and take care of our daughter or a robot, still would choose the robot.
Less drama.
Not only because I'm a happily married man, but also because less drama, and also just another human in your house, another person pooping in your house. We have too many people pooping in this house already.
Right, cost effectiveness, right?
Yeah, we have a very weak sewer system on the side of our house, and
she throws her tampons down the toilet.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
We got Colton here. He's like 6'7" and he's pooping in here. So we can't. Although if it was Colton versus the Swedish au pair, still would choose Colton. Choose Colton. Less drama.
Aww.
Yeah, apparently there was a big story online in the last week about these beautiful au pairs, and there was one au pair who, of course, she slept with the husband.
Of course.
And it was a situation where the women were all piling on the wife because they were just saying that she was stupid because she let the hot au pair. Why would you? Because Maggie Onders?
Oh, yeah.
So Maggie was commenting on it, and she was saying, I'm sorry, but I just assume that if you are a wife and you bring a hot young au pair into your house, that you are at fault because you must be a masochist and want pain because you invited that on yourself. Now, I know it's blaming the victim, but...
Yeah, it's definitely playing with fire.
Yes, it is. Now, what if it was a hot Swedish au pair robot? Now, that's a different question.
I'm sure most women would prefer that over a real human, for sure.
Hey, what was that movie we watched where the guy had like the AI girlfriend, the robot girlfriend, and they all it was like a murder spree?
Oh, yeah, she killed everybody.
Yes, that was a great movie.
Oh, gosh. Was it called My Girlfriend?
It was called... It was where his girlfriend was a robot and like a pleasure bot for his play, and then it became like a murder mystery.
Yes,
and it was the last time where I was like, oh, that was a good movie. Where I see most of the time I see new movies.
I do remember it. We'll have to figure it out. Yeah, during a break or something. But I mean, I think I hear from a lot of women that they have to control their men to some extent, right? You know, like if their man is like, I'm going out with the boys, to go drinking, sometimes sometimes you do have to set some boundaries with your man, you know, or else
I wish
he might get a little out of control.
I wish I had some boys to go out drinking with. I won't lie.
Yeah.
But not because I want to cheat, but because
Right.
there aren't a lot of boys around here in the rural parts of Missouri.
Right. But it's like, you know, or if they're like going out to the strip club or something, it's like sometimes women gotta, you know, they gotta set some boundaries at times.
Strip clubs, you know, just get all that stuff out of your system when you're a young man. Get it out of your. That's what I say. A lot of these people are like, hurry up, get married, and all this. I'm like, no, just kind of like, you know, do your college thing, guys, and like, you know, go to your strip clubs if you're going to go to your strip clubs. Go to Las Vegas, go stay out all night, spend a bunch of money on craps, and then like settle down. All right, and then you got it out of your system, and that's the best way to do it, guys. So you're not sitting around thinking woulda, shoulda, coulda. There's a lot of women that are the same way with their husbands. They're like, who was that celebrity that was saying she wished that she had before she she's married to some guy, and it's like the girl from that Russell Brand movie where they're in Hawaii. What's her name?
Kristen Bell?
Kristen Bell, yes.
Okay, yes.
So Kristen Bell has said she wishes that she like dated more before she married her husband. Hold on, Kristen.
Oh yeah.
And everybody was talking about it because she was saying, take public. Yes, here we go. Okay. All right, I got the clip. This is good stuff. Okay, here we go.
Kristen is a little regretful. She's very active, and Kristen is a little regretful. She was very active, and she wishes she was even more sexually active.
I just wish I butterflied around a little bit more.
Can you imagine sitting there and you're listening to your wife talk about how she wished she had spread her legs for more men in her 20s before she met you? Oh.
I would say the minimum is at least like 10 to 20 million.
A guy who makes 9 mil? Nope.
Okay, sure.
What are you bringing to the table that's so valuable that you believe that an $8 million a year earning man is beneath you?
I mean, I'm sorry. The money thing is a separate question. But yeah, I mean, if I had to sit and listen to you talk about something like that, I would be deeply ashamed and embarrassed. I mean,
yeah. Or there's like a lot of significant others who are like, I wasn't even attracted to you when we first got together.
Oh
like
my God.
That would be really hard. I used to watch Married at First Sight, and there's a couple where the woman, she was like almost disgusted by this man because he had like moles on his face. And I remember she like almost didn't want to look at him. And now they're married with multiple children. They're so happy. But she truly said to him, like, I was not attracted to you when I saw you. Like, that's scary to hear. And so, you know, I hope that doesn't come to bite their marriage in the end. But oof, some of those truths are just tough to swallow.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, why? You know, I mean, even if you felt that way, why would you say something like that publicly? And even still, why would you say it right in front of him?
I know.
And now this is where people are going to be like, Austin, you're a hypocrite. And I know I just have double standards. It's not the same.
I mean, usually you hear something like that from men, you know, that like they wish they played the field a little bit more. But women, you don't usually hear that from so much.
That's because that's in our nature.
Yeah.
That's part of men's nature.
Right.
And so there's this, it's an unfortunate fact of nature that we are biologically programmed for many, and you are biologically programmed for one.
Right.
And so it's unfortunate. I didn't choose this biology, right?
Yeah.
But I'm animated by it because I'm a man, and I can't change that about myself. So I advise young men, like, get it out of your system as soon as you can, and then find a nice girl and settle down. And I advise women to just find a nice guy and settle down. And that sounds like there's a double standard, and there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it should be, if we.
Well, I just say marry.
Different.
Marry when you're older, and then you won't have to deal with the midlife crisis divorce.
Yeah,
just marry when most people are getting a divorce, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, Yep. That's right. So because by the time we got married, some of our friends and people of our generation,
they had already been divorced.
They were already in their divorce.
Right.
They were in their second marriage.
Yeah.
So I like to say, they're like, oh, people are like, why didn't you get married? Why didn't you get married? Like before you and I got together. And I'm like, I'm skipping my first divorce. That's
right.
it. I'm just skipping my first divorce.
Yeah. Because it's like when you're older, you know yourself better. And I would say you're probably not going to change your ways as much as you would if you were married in your 20s.
Yeah, well, it helps me definitely help you know what you don't want, right? You see bad traits. And when you're young and you're naive, it's harder to suss out who's a good guy and who's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Right? And same when you're a guy, it's harder to suss out who's a good girl, who's a bad girl, right? I mean, you learn pretty quick as a young man, but I'll tell you, I had relationships that were deeply toxic and volatile. And it's interesting because, certain people will bring out negative traits in a person. You kind of like bring out all of my best traits. You bring out...
Look at that.
You bring out the best in me.
I don't trigger you.
You do not. You do not trigger me. Yeah. You kind of like... Either maybe it's instinctively or maybe it's intellectually or maybe it's both, but sort of like what my minds are. Right. If we're playing Minesweeper, you know where like not to tread to like make Austin blow up. I don't know if you do that like as a matter of just how you are, or if you kind of know what my limits are and you don't press them.
I'm just more intuitive as a person, I think. Yeah. Especially with a mental health background. I'm more in tune to communicating and how do you set appropriate boundaries and talk about things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this attitude that I have is probably like what makes me more like lean towards libertarian social values rather than like being a true conservative, if you will, because most true conservatives will tell you, be young, get married, have children at an early age and all that kind of stuff. And then, have like 17 kids like Brian Piotr. And there's a wisdom to that.
I do believe that there are men out there, despite their biology, that they truly do just want to be with like one woman. They want to be committed to her always. Like, I do believe that some men are like that.
Yes. I mean, some men, it's true.
Yeah.
And also, some men aren't meant to conquer and be Genghis Khan.
Right. Some men don't want that. They don't desire that.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe them.
Right. They don't want to be like Donald Trump.
Right.
They don't want to have dated, a dozen like underwear and ballet and ballerinas and models and actresses and starlets, and they don't want to have anything to do with that. And I understand that.
Right.
And I'll just leave it at that. Let's talk about something else. I don't know what it's going to be at. We'll have to decide after the break. But the bonus content has been unlocked. So that means that you get to watch the documentary of Ethan Allen and the Green Mountain Boys from Fort Ticonderoga. It's your 5-minute Lego mini documentary. Grab your coffee, stop your grinning, and drop your linen. So Wake Up America shows Freedom Family Friday on the 4 Liberty Network. Untamed hills of the New Hampshire Grants, land that would one day be called Vermont, there lived a man built like a thunderclap and twice as loud. Ethan Allen, born in 1738 in Litchfield, Connecticut, grew to 6 feet 4 inches of raw frontier muscle, broad as a barn door, with a voice that could rattle windows and a temper that could start forest fires. By his 20s, he was already a legend among the rough-hewn settlers, iron founder, land speculator, philosopher, and leader of the Green Mountain Boys, a band of hard-drinking, hard-fighting backwoodsmen who wore fringed buckskin shirts, coonskin caps, and carried long Pennsylvania rifles that could drop a deer at 200 yards or a redcoat at half that. The Grants were a powder keg in the 1770s. New York claimed the land. New Hampshire had granted it to settlers. The Yorkers sent sheriffs and surveyors to seize farms and evict families. Ethan Allen and his boys answered with midnight raids, tar and feathering officials, burning barns and running land grabbers out on rails. They called themselves the regulators of the New Grants, but the Yorkers called them outlaws. Allen called them patriots. He wrote fiery pamphlets defending the settlers' rights, quoting Locke and Montesquieu between swigs of rum, and swore the Grants would never bow to Albany's courts or King George's distant throne. Then came April 19th, 1775. Muskets cracked at Lexington and Concord. The revolution was on. Word reached the Grants like a lightning strike. Ethan Allen saw his moment. The greatest prize wasn't in Boston. It was 300 miles north on Lake Champlain. Fort Ticonderoga, the old French stone fortress stuffed with cannon the Patriots desperately needed to blast the British out of Boston. The British garrison was small, lazy, and isolated. Allen knew it could be taken, if a man had the nerve. He rode hard to Hartford, met with Connecticut leaders, then dashed to Cambridge to confer with the Massachusetts Committee of Safety. They gave him a colonel's commission and a handful of men. But Allen had his own army, the Green Mountain Boys. On May 9th, under a sliver moon, he gathered 183 of them at Hand's Cove on the eastern shore of Champlain. Benedict Arnold arrived, brash, ambitious, in a new blue officer's coat, claiming command from Massachusetts. Allen refused to yield. The boys would follow no outsider. They compromised. Both would lead. They crammed into bateaux and rowboats, oars muffled, hearts pounding against ribs. The crossing was silent, black water lapping wood, only the occasional loon's cry breaking the night. They beached beneath the fort's southern wall at 3 a.m. A single sentry challenged. A rifle butt cracked his skull before he could shout. The boys poured through the sally port like wolves through a broken fence. Allen charged straight for the officers' quarters, boots thundering on stone steps. He hammered Captain William Delaplace's door with the flat of his sword. The sleepy British commander stumbled out in his nightshirt. "In the name of the great Jehovah and the Continental Congress," Allen bellowed, towering over the man like Judgment Day, "I demand you instantly surrender this fort." Delaplace blinked, stunned. "By what authority?" "By the authority of the Continental Congress," Allen roared again. The Green Mountain Boys raised a whoop that shook the ramparts. Not one shot fired. The garrison, 48 redcoats, surrendered without a fight. By sunrise, the pine tree flag of liberty snapped over Ticonderoga's walls. 83 cannon, 6 mortars, howitzers, thousands of rounds of shot, enough iron to change the war, fell into Patriot hands. Allen wasn't done. That same day, he took Crown Point 10 miles north. Then he pushed north again, capturing St. John's in Canada before British reinforcements could react. He dreamed of seizing Montreal, of turning Canada into the 14th colony. But supply lines stretched, winter came early, and the dream died in the snow. Back in the Grants, Allen kept fighting. He was captured in a reckless raid near Montreal in September 1775, betrayed by bad intelligence and worse luck. The British chained him like a wild animal, threw him aboard a ship bound for England. For 2 years he endured the hell of prison hulks and foul holds, irons on wrists and ankles, bread crawling with maggots, scurvy blackening his gums. He taunted his guards, preached liberty to fellow prisoners, and wrote letters that somehow slipped through to Congress, demanding better treatment for captives. In May 1778, after the French alliance shifted the war, the British exchanged him. He stepped ashore in New York, a living legend, gaunt, scarred, but unbroken. Congress gave him a brevet brigadier general's rank. He returned to Vermont, now declared an independent republic, and spent the war's final years defending its borders, negotiating with the British, some whispered treasonously, to protect his people, and writing Reason, the only oracle of man, a deist manifesto that shocked the pious and thrilled freethinkers. Ethan Allen never fought at Yorktown. He never wore the blue coat of the Continental Army in major battle again. But the cannons he seized at Ticonderoga roared above Boston in 1776, forcing the British to flee. His raid lit the fuse of offensive action when the Revolution was still reeling. He died in 1789, just as the new Constitution took hold. A giant of a man who bent history with sheer will and a war cry that still echoes through the Green Mountains. He was no saint. He drank hard, cursed louder, and lived by his own code. But when the hour of decision came, Ethan Allen stood tallest, sword in hand, voice like thunder, and took a fortress that helped win a nation. The Green Mountains remember, so should we all.
Along with just one Republican voted against. You know what the name is? He is the worst person. His name is What the hell? How did he ever end up in Kentucky? His name is Thomas Massey.
Oh.
How did he ever end up here, Paul? Anyway, no, Massey voted against tax cuts for seniors.
Good morning, Rise and Freedom. I'm Austin Petersen. You're watching and listening to This is the Wake Up America show on the For Liberty Network. Hope you guys enjoyed the bonus content.
Well, things just got a little tough with that speech there.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. Weird. Very, very odd.
I mean, cutting taxes for seniors, I'm not, well.
It was the big, beautiful bill. You know, he voted against it because he thought it spent too much money. Probably right.
Right. So he didn't want the big, beautiful bill. It's not that he didn't want tax cuts.
Well, that's kind of the problem is that, like, all of these bills, there should just be one subject at a time because it's like, if you don't vote for this bill or you kick Puppies Act, that includes billions of dollars sent to Omar's cousins.
I'm sure there were a lot of other things in the big, beautiful bill. Wasn't there something about transgender something in there too? I don't know. They just throw all sorts of topics in there.
They just throw it all in there, and then they hope it sticks.
Yeah.
And it just...
So I don't blame them about the big, beautiful bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas Massey and Donald Trump have been at war with one another now for a very long time.
You're a party to that in the Senate. You are part of this cover-up that we are trying to expose. I am sorry if one of your billionaire donors is going to get embarrassed because he went to Rape Island. That is what they have coming. In fact, they need to be on the other side of bars, a lot of them. Some of them will be embarrassed, but some of them need to go to prison, and the survivors know that. So how will we know if this bill has been successful? We will know when there are men, rich men, in handcuffs being perp-walked to the jail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what is this bill?
That was the Epstein Transparency Act. So he was saying that,
you are part of this cover-up that we are trying to expose.
So if you opposed Thomas Massey, then you're part of the cover-up of people who went to Rape Island. He called the Trump administration the Epstein administration, which pretty rough.
You know, well, Elon Musk has said some pretty bad things too. Remember when Elon Musk said that Trump was on the Epstein list?
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes these people will say things that they probably really shouldn't say.
Yeah, that they don't mean.
That sound a little too bad.
Well, that's just
a
lie because
so they shouldn't make those kinds of statements. That's very inappropriate.
Exactly. Now Thomas Massey is posting a video of Turning Point USA head Charlie Kirk from what looks to be a long time ago.
Yeah.
Massey is posting this video.
One of the most exciting
January 11th, 2023. So it looks like, so 3 years ago.
Developments from last week's negotiations is the new church committee. And one of the members of that new church committee, my favorite members of Congress, he loves the Constitution, he loves liberty, he's honest and he's tough, and he's going to really go after the intel. Thomas Massey, who's just terrific from Kentucky. Congressman Massey, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Charlie.
Oh.
There you go. So that was 3 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I think at one point Trump liked Thomas Massey too, didn't he?
Briefly. Very briefly. So that was when he was running against a Democrat in his district in Kentucky.
Right.
And so things have changed dramatically since then, since Trump was reelected, because Thomas Massey refused to endorse him. Remember, Thomas Massey actually campaigned for Ron DeSantis specifically.
You know, politics is messy. So if you're campaigning against somebody, then they're probably going to campaign against you, which is happening right now. So I don't blame either of them. I can see why Trump is now going against him if he went against Trump at one point.
But here's the thing. Here's the problem. Like, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Right?
Yes.
And in all that time after we were, instead of us focusing our energy on the people who assassinated Charlie Kirk and going after the left, we spent all of that time and energy going after the Epstein files, which I'm sorry, I know it's a big deal, but it's not the biggest deal. I actually think that we've got bigger issues, and I think it might be a little misleading in terms of it might be a little misleading to post that Charlie Kirk clip there. If I were Thomas Massey, I would do it. But hold on, I gotta fix my.
Yeah, his choice of campaign videos have not been the best, I'm sure. So whoever's on his PR or marketing team, I don't know who they are.
Well, I think it's his new wife, Carolyn. So,
right.
yeah.
So it's like everyone has their opinion about what will get into the hearts and minds of voters. Maybe he thinks because people are still feeling emotionally charged, emotional videos tend to work, right? So because people are still emotionally charged about Charlie Kirk and they see Charlie Kirk like Thomas Massey, right? Maybe a lot of conservatives will be like, oh yes, like this is my choice. This is my sign. I need to go for this Thomas Massey.
So the thing is that Charlie Kirk was devoted to the president. He was devoted to President Trump.
Yeah.
So listen to this. Charlie Kirk explicitly called for Justin Amash to be primaried.
So Charlie Kirk didn't like Justin Amash.
Charlie Kirk used to like Justin Amash.
Oh.
On May 19th, 2019, Charlie Kirk posted, Justin Amash used to be one of my favorite members of Congress.
Oh.
He used to fight for liberty and the Constitution. Now he is fixated on adoration from the left and media. It ignores Trump's wins on every front. Amash, you have let us all down. We will now primary you. You will lose.
Yeah.
That was a direct primary challenge against Amash.
Right. Amash really changed a lot. I was there for it. I remember. He was really great when he was in office, and then all of a sudden he became like anti-Trump, and he was just going after Trump constantly, and that was his mission, and that's what led to his downfall in politics, unfortunately.
Yeah. I don't know if it was worth it. I don't think it was.
I don't know what his goals are right now. I don't know what he wants to do.
Yeah.
I know he has a good business outside of politics.
Yeah.
So financially, I'm sure he's fine.
Oh, I'm sure he's fine financially.
Yeah.
But then we lose him in Congress.
Right.
And if we lose Thomas Massey, it's going to be like this. It's going to be like this kind of scenario.
Well, we did lose I'm sorry. I'm thinking Justin Amash. Yeah,
No.
we lost Justin Amash.
I'm
right,
putting this out there as a warning. Like libertarians are really mad at me because I'm being critical of Thomas Massey at this time because I think he's kind of like going in that same Justin Amash direction.
Right. And
again, like Justin Amash's politics, agree with him politically, but our people have got to start being more savvy. Like it's not enough.
Yes.
It's not enough for me to have somebody who claims that they represent my ideals to fight ineptly for those ideals. You have to actually like win some things. Like I was talking to this guy yesterday, he was so mad at me and online, and I was just like, give me your number, dude, let's talk. So I called him. And he's so angry at me. And I was like, first of all, why is your personality so tied up into a politician and like what like that somebody can't criticize them or disagree with them?
Well, I've been there before with Ron Paul.
Right. And here's the thing. We can't admit our faults or our mistakes or the problems that we're facing. We can't even deal with them because we have to admit a weakness. I'm sorry, but you can't change. You can't win. You have to change who you are in order to get different results. You have to change your behavior because I don't know if Justin Amash thinks it was a worthy sacrifice to lose him, to sacrifice, but this is a game of chess. You sometimes you have to sacrifice a pawn in order to not lose a queen. Okay, so when you're on the great chessboard of life, ask yourself this: was it worth it? Whatever. I mean, trying to impeach Donald Trump, that's what Justin Amash got himself run out of rail for. Was it over the Russiagate hoax? So let me ask you: if Thomas Massey loses, was the Epstein files worth losing Thomas Massey?
He may think so.
He
may think so.
Well, you know what? He's perfectly fine and free to think so. If so, if he does lose, right, and because he's, again, like Justin Amash, he's a rich guy, another rich guy congressman he himself will be taken care of. And oh Lord, didn't Marjorie Taylor Greene also stick around long enough to get a pension so she could have her pension be completed? But yeah,
I remember
and a lot of insider trading that's going on. This is Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene before Donald Trump got reelected for the second time.
Okay.
Take a listen to this.
Thomas's story.
How much of this do you want me to tell?
It's up to you.
Oh my gosh. I had President Trump yelling at me.
Oh my. It was in March of 2020, was the shutdown. No one knew what COVID was going to do. Everyone was freaking out. They didn't know what the outcome was going to be. So President Trump was pushing through. Thomas Massey was trying to say, no, we have to do this correctly. We still have a constitution. It has not gone away. And I'm proud of him. I totally support him for what he did.
So he said he would, on the phone, he told me he was going to come at me. Never in your life before have you seen the way in which I will come at you.
Charles, that's awesome.
Yeah. He said, I'm coming at you like you've never seen. Never in your life before have you seen the way in which I will come at you. And then he said that I was
That's funny.
I didn't know what that meant. But before I got back to my seat, I found out. He said I was a third-rate grandstander.
On Twitter.
He tweeted about you. On Twitter, yeah.
And you're in trouble when that happens.
Yeah. And that I should be thrown out of the GOP. And the press wanted to know what I had for myself. That my own president had called me a third-rate grandstander. And I looked at him. I said, I was offended. I'm at least second-rate.
Yeah, interesting. So they both of those people clearly thought he was not going to get reelected again at that time. That was before Trump got elected the second time. So, because talking like that. And then now Marjorie Taylor Greene, I mean, she's more than Amoshed or Massey'd herself. She's like on another planet. She's like going on The View, talking to women on The View. She's attacking President Trump openly. And I'm sorry, guys, but I support President Donald Trump. I voted for Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Thomas Massey.
Right. I know you have to pick your battles.
Yeah.
And you do have to pick the lesser of the evils. So I do wonder who they want over Donald Trump.
It's not even I don't even like it, the whole lesser of evils thing. I don't like that discussion. I don't like the way to frame. I don't accept that framing. The way I think that we should just frame it is that everything's trade-offs.
Yeah.
Everything is trade-offs.
Right. They're not exactly evil. They're just things you don't like.
Yeah, it's things you don't like. So the trade-off of having Justin Amash get hornswoggled by the left was losing Justin Amash in Congress and making an enemy out of the president, who's the best president we've had since Ronald Reagan. And, I said this to that guy on the phone yesterday. I don't think he'll care. It was the Milsurp Mike on X.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah, he's a Missouri. He's another fellow Missourian.
Yeah.
And I just go, who has done more libertarian shit? Donald Trump or Thomas Massey? And he stopped. And he thought about it. I was like, really think about it before you answer. Who has done more libertarian shit?
Well, in terms of laws.
Who has done more libertarian shit?
Right.
Who has done... Now, has he done more anti-libertarian shit? Sure, all told. But now we're talking about the difference between the man in the arena and the man sitting in the peanut gallery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The man sitting on the sidelines versus the man who is in the arena. Okay? And the man who's in the arena, it's not a lesser of two evils. It's all evil trade-offs. It's all trade-offs. It's all negative. Every decision that gets thrown on the president's desk, it's not a choice between gumdrops and hearts and rainbows and kittens.
Right.
It's not we'll just let everyone live in peace and rainbows and merry gumdrops. No. It's do I let Iran have a nuclear weapon, which they're threatening to use against us, or do I blow the shit out of them? 10 out of 10 times, I'm going to say blow the shit out of them.
Right. Well, Thomas Massey is, more on that non-interventionist front.
Is he? Wow. Well, then, so if that's true, you remember when you showed up to the Justin Amash rally and you were surrounded by towel heads?
Or no, the Ron Paul rally in 2012, and I was surrounded. I was in Dearborn. I was surrounded by a lot of Middle Eastern people.
There's Thomas Massey receiving an award from the Quincy Institute. There's his donations on the left. You know, he likes to talk a lot about transparency. You know, the Epstein administration, we need transparency. Here we have a list of donations. Anti-Zionist America PAC. Green for Congress, Thomas Massey. Mohammed Marouk, thousands, 7,000.
Yeah.
Look who's getting $7,000 there. Look who's got $7,000. Because if you criticize Thomas Massey, and I'm saying this with love as a Thomas Massey fan, by the way, if you criticize Thomas Massey or think maybe this is the wrong direction or that maybe this whole like feud with the president is wrong-headed, they'll accuse you of taking $7,000 from Israel. But look who's taken $7,000 from the Marouk family.
Right. Yeah, I now understand why I was surrounded by Middle Eastern people at the Ron Paul rally.
Yeah.
It's because Ron Paul would preach non-interventionism, and the Middle Eastern people didn't want our military there, and so of course they're going to support Ron Paul.
Yes.
Of course they're going to support Thomas Massey because Thomas Massey doesn't support our intervention there, which I can understand from a non-interventionist perspective where, you know, I kind of feel how they feel in ways, but I know that they do kind of make digs on Israel a lot. And so that's the part that I don't like.
And well, here's the thing. That's what I think these people don't understand is like I posted this video that I made that I was critical of Thomas Massey and the associations that he's made since he ditched MAGA and decided to pick up some new supporters. Who are the new supporters? Well, they're the Groypers, right? They're the Marouk family. They're
like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson like him?
Exactly, yes.
Oh, they
exactly.
do?
Yeah. Right. And so the thing is that the way that political coalitions work is that you are the average of the groups that you align yourself with.
For sure.
To a degree. So why are these anti-libertarian, anti-American people all finding themselves in common cause? Is it because he's a pure non-intervention and they would love to see the United States foreign policy be more non-interventionist? Or is it because they support the type of people who killed one of our soldiers yesterday at the Old Dominion? Or is it because they support the people who tried to murder 100 preschoolers yesterday in an attempted shooting spree? That was thank God it was stopped outside of Detroit yesterday.
Right.
Is it truly that they want peace and heart and gumdrops and rainbows, or is there a reason why the Groypers are supposed? You could say, oh well, he's not accepting that, he's not supporting them. You know what? I'm tired of that argument. I did that for years in supporting Ron Paul.
No, I did too. I wrote for the Jewish newspaper.
Exactly. He's not like that. He's not like that. So then why? It's like Ron Paul never would have given you any indication that he has ties to Russia or sympathy for foreign governments, other than the fact that the person who leads his think tank is notably not a libertarian who has ties to Russia and to foreign regimes. And it's kind of like, okay, at what point do we say it's kind of like, okay, well, you don't want to have a guilt by association. Like there's a question like guilt by association, but it's like, but here's the thing. I'm proud to be associated with my MAGA colleagues in the Republican Party. Many of them are good people. They live in our neighborhoods. We see them. I see many of them in the sun. And they're not Jew-hating anti-Semites. They're not going to go blow up a temple, Bethel, Israel. These are people who have families who are building communities. And it's kind of like, so those are the allies I want. I don't want the Groypers. I don't want to be allies with the Mohammedans. I don't want to be a part of a group that feels comfortable, taking money from Farouk. I don't want them taking money from David Duke or the Ku Klux Klan, and I don't want them taking...
Well, you should see the people that donate to Libertarian Party candidates, right?
Right.
You're going... Libertarian Party candidates, they... definitely attract some fringe groups because they believe so much in freedom of expression that these fringe groups, like Nazi parties, for example, they'll be like, oh, we can be free and express ourselves. Of course we like this.
Yeah.
So it's like they naturally attract these people, but it's like that's not really their fault. It's just their philosophy is what's attracting them.
Yeah. And that in that case, in that situation, maybe ask yourself, is that worthy? Like to ask yourself, well, then is what I believe, is it really true? Or is it really, beneficial? Is it really something that is a positive for society? And I mean, if you can't If you can't, then you have a religion, right? Not a dogma. If you're unable to reassess your premise, your underlying premise, to find out if your premise is wrong, you're not like you're not even really an ideologue to a certain extent. Like you're just an automaton. You're just brainwashed, mindless repeater of platitudes.
Right.
And it's
He's like a 1 or 2 issue person, and one of his major issues is war. He does not like war.
Well, who likes war? Who likes war? George Patton, I guess, liked war. Okay, he's
Right.
God. I love it. So okay, some of these generals, the people. I hope that the people who fight the war probably at least like it a little bit, so that they're good at it and they enjoy it. Have fun while you're there.
Well, they are having fun with that dancing lady.
Yeah, they were. Those
Yes.
South Korean, exactly. That's why we send in the USO.
Yeah.
Exactly, Stephanie.
Well, I
Let them have a little bit of fun.
I remember a conversation I had with Justin Amash. I attended some of his parades when he was running for office in Grand Rapids. And I remember he did specifically say that the difference with Rand Paul is that he's more into making networks and connections with people in office. And that's why he's so different than Thomas Massey and Justin Amash.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's because
He wants
Rand
to
Paul
make deals.
knows how to pick his battles.
Well, to some extent. So like Rand Paul is kind of on the outs of the president right now too, but he hasn't picked a fight the same way that Thomas Massey has picked a fight. But I was talking to somebody about this on the phone yesterday, was that there was a while where it was believed that Rand Paul could be the Trump whisperer, that Rand Paul could be the guy who is in Trump's ear, being Grima Wormtongue or whatever.
Sure.
But now it's Lindsey Graham. And all the libertarians are mad because they're like, Trump's been taken over by neocons. I'm
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham. I don't think
No.
Lindsey Graham is great.
Nobody tells Donald Trump what to do. He just he listens to people who want to work with him to get things done. In that situation, Trump is purely transactional. He's not an ideologue, right? He's only ideological about one thing, that's tariffs, which is a shame, but we take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
But the reason why Lindsey Graham has gotten close is because Lindsey Graham wants to win. Lindsey Graham wants victories. Lindsey Graham is willing to squish a little bit so that he can move things for his people. Thomas Massey and Rand Paul, they're not willing to squish at all to bring us home any victories for our ideals. They're not willing. They're willing to lose they're like Justin Amash. They're willing to lose their seat in Congress. They're willing to die on their swords. They're willing to be named a martyr in the great book of life of Murray Rothbard. And that's it. And that's fine. You want to commit to a suicide bombing technique. I'm sorry. I'm not comfortable with that anymore. I'm done with that.
Right.
I have committed no longer to live my life for a libertarian who doesn't want to win and who plans to die. Like I was like yesterday, the guy was Milson Mark. He's like, they're all pedophiles and they control everything and our tax dollars are paid for them. I'm like, dude, you are so black-pilled. No American will ever listen to any libertarian who tells them that we're all and that the world is done and that we're run by pedophiles and there's no hope and that everything is screwed and that burn it all down. You will never, I tell you now, you will be forgotten the day after you die. There are 2 deaths that a person lives. Your first death is the death of your physical body. The second death is the last time someone says your name on this planet. There's a reason why no one will remember your names, libertarians. And I say this as one of you, but who is a crab crawling out of the bucket as we speak. And I see you trying to pull me back down, many of you. Not you, the listeners of this show, because you're obviously not those crabs in the bucket. You're lifting me out of the bucket. Thank you. No one will remember your name. Your name will be forgotten a week after you're dead because you weren't willing to get squished. You rather get completely smashed and lose everything than hold on to what we have right here, right now, and make a tough decision that might make you not something other than a pure libertarian. I'm sorry, but I'm not willing to die on a hill that's indefensible.
Well, there's some people that just believe in certain causes so much that they're willing to do anything for them.
They are, and that is why there are some people in this world that believe that we should have such a limited government, such as to the extent to allow children to be able to purchase, sell, use heroin.
Right, and I don't think Thomas Massey is at that point.
No, however, it's all trade-offs.
Right.
It's all trade-offs. So the question is the trade-off of losing Thomas Massey, what we got from the Epstein files, was that worth losing Thomas Massey? I don't think so. I don't think this war with the administration, just the same way that Justin Amash did, I don't think it was worth losing Justin Amash. I don't think it's worth it. It's going to be, if we lose Thomas Massie, maybe he'll be fine. Maybe he'll get reelected, and maybe he'll just continue to be a gadfly. Fine. But I don't. If we do lose him, like we did lose Justin Amash, I won't think it's been worth it, and I will think it will be mostly self-inflicted wounds. Stop blaming other people for your problems. Start fixing your own house, fixing your own problems. That's my attitude. Is that harsh, Stephanie? Or if so, it's just the truth. It's just how I feel, man. This is what I think.
It's a really hard situation because I am definitely a fan of Justin Amash and Thomas Massie, and I've supported them a lot over the years. So I can see both sides, and I think there's a lot that we don't see behind the scenes, too. We don't see angry phone conversations. We don't see comments made behind each other's back. So it's like, I'm sure there's part of the story that we really don't know, and I'd like to think that Trump and Thomas Massie are, just doing what they think is best. And I agree with both of them in some parts.
I get like now I'm a veteran of this stuff,
right?
And so I've kind of seen what happens, and like my thing is that it looks like Thomas Massie is nervous and that he is fighting for survival. And when you're fighting for survival, you do crazy stuff. When you feel like your back is to the wall. If he was confident and knew that he was going to get reelected and it didn't matter what the president was going to do, there would have been no reason to go ape shit and go do all this kind of stuff. But when you're flailing, you start getting sloppy. And he accused people of being associated with Epstein. He listed names, uncovered names that shouldn't have been uncovered, that had nothing to do with it, smeared people, innocent people. Right. Without a trial, they'll be destroyed in the public sphere. So he got sloppy. Him and Ro Khanna on this Epstein stuff. And it's not anti-libertarian to call that out, right? It's not. It's not. You can
It's like he's made some untasteful choices.
Yeah,
for sure.
If you had to choose between someone who is libertarian leaning, who would sometimes do libertarian things, but would also do some authoritarian things, or a person who is a pure libertarian but never does anything libertarian, they never do anything authoritarian either, but they also never do anything libertarian. They just talk about it.
Right.
What do you choose? All right, that's real life.
Yeah.
Okay. Donald Trump has done some libertarian shit. Some. I'm not saying he's overwhelmingly libertarian. I'm not saying he's libertarian at all. But I'm saying that he has done some libertarian shit.
Sure, some. I mean, even Democrats do some. Because they're liberal.
Not anymore.
So they're going to make some liberal
to.
Choices in terms of like gay marriage
during the Bill Clinton
like
during the Bill Clinton years. Yes.
Yeah.
You would get Democrats who would do some libertarian shit sometimes.
Right. But or like on the drug war.
Yeah, but you don't even see that anymore. So it's a series of trade-offs. It's a series of game theories. And I don't want Thomas Massie to lose, but I feel like if he does, it will be the writing will have been on the wall that will have called it. Now, if he wins, people are going to be like, ha ha, Austin, you actually won. And then that's a completely different question. Then it's like, okay, he won. He's safe in his congressional district. Now what's he going to do?
Right. Maybe he'll back down on a lot of things because he'll know that his campaign is over. He doesn't have to fight anymore.
He has to fight again in another 2 years.
Right.
Every 2 years.
But at that point, Donald Trump will be on his exit soon enough. Right? Because Donald Trump, he's been in office, what is it, only a year now? So in 2 years, 27, 28, people will be campaigning already for president for the next time. So Thomas Massie will probably be creating alliances with any new campaign people for president, I would think. I think the thing that bothers me the most about Thomas Massie and about Ron Paul is that they talk negatively about Israel a lot, and that really bothers me. It makes me wonder, do they really have negative thoughts about Jewish people? Do they not like Jewish people? It is a little bit suspicious to me on that.
Yeah, and
so
again,
that makes me feel uneasy. So that's the only thing where I'm like, it doesn't feel right.
You are exactly right. And if you have a hunch, if you have a feeling, I used to be kind of like, oh, we'll just ignore that and all that kind of stuff. But as I grow older and I grow a little wiser, I think that every once in a while, you may not necessarily be able to completely, using perfect logic or reason, deduce, the good reason for why you do it, like Ayn Rand would want you to do. But because millions of years of human evolution have evolved this sense instinct, and can it get us in trouble? Sure. Can it get you killed? Sure. You can make a mistake. Logic is important. But I think instinct should play a role in there somewhere. It's like if you see somebody crossing the street and they look a little shady or a little shifty, just cross the street. It's better to be an alive racist than a dead liberal.
Well,
just use your gut.
I mean, I can
if
tell.
If you're Irina Zarudska getting on the train, use your instincts.
Yeah, I can tell my racist story from when we were in Kansas City a few weeks ago, talking
racist.
about Irina, right?
Let's talk. Racist stories are great.
Yes.
Let's hear
so we were on
the
what was it? The streetcar in Kansas City. It's free for everybody to use, including homeless people and fringe populations. And so we're there. Hazel's on there with us, all our belongings, and all of a sudden, a black man gets on. That's fine. But what this black man is wearing was very unsettling. He was literally wearing a mask, a black mask that was even covering his eyes.
And the mask was painted to look scary.
Yes, it was absolutely terrifying.
And he had on these fingerless gloves that had little menacing looking, not spikes, but just these paintings that look like what he looked like to me was he looked like a level 1 video game bad guy character. And it was he wasn't obviously dressed up in a sense of I guess it was cosplay to some extent.
Yeah, well, there was a tattoo convention. So, so I should have probably applied some logic in terms of, it is a tattoo convention. He's probably in town for that.
Right.
That's why he's dressed so weird. But it still was very unsettling to me because he was staring at me and Hazel the entire time. He was on this.
He was dressed like a vagabond.
Yes.
But he also smelled like a vagabond. So.
Oh, you smelled him too?
Yeah.
And then he made me nervous because he would stand up. He would stand up and start walking around. And he was very close to me and Hazel and our whole family.
So I went into a football player scrimmage where I was down. I was sitting right next to Hazel, and I was just down at the ground, ready to go and shoulder check and bam.
Well, there was a point where I literally I was feeling vulnerable, and I said to Austin, take Hazel.
Yeah,
because I just wanted to keep an eye on this man.
You didn't have to worry about it. I had already eyeballed him on the other side of the carriage and was because I was sitting up and looking at you, and then I went down into my football scrimmage. So
yeah, and then this other black family came on the streetcar with all their young children, and they had their children literally standing right next to him. And I'm thinking, of course they're not racist, right? Because he's he's part of their community, but it's even if I was of the same race as this person, I still would have felt kind of okay, he looks like a bad guy.
Yeah.
So situational awareness, if somebody feels weird and they're staring at you, I think it's okay to be a bit skeptical of them.
Yeah. I mostly stay strapped, Peter the Great. The problem is that when you've got a little daughter who loves to grab things, and sometimes you're not always seeing her, so when she's clinging on to me, it would be very easy for her to just get underneath my belt and grab hold of something. So I carry a knife in certain situations for that. But if I can keep a distance, then if I don't have to carry her per se, because she's just at that tender age where it's anything that she can get her fingers on that looks fun or interesting, she's going to grab it. So it depends on the situation with Carrie. But I had a big, beautiful American flag knife that would have done the job in close quarters. So plus it's Missouri, so a lot of people are carrying.
Yeah, all of these attacks definitely make me more paranoid. That's for sure.
Yeah, this black guy whistled me in the mall parking lot and yelled, asking to jump his car, acted sketchy. So I said no, and he cussed me out as I left. I'd rather be racist than get robbed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whenever there's anybody on the side of the road who needs car help, I would never pull over. Never.
Barney is asking how to subscribe. I think what you do is you click the little gift button in the bottom right hand corner.
Like to the channel?
Yeah, they want to sub.
Get a castle?
He wants to get a castle, so that he can hang out with us tonight for the Freedom Arcade. Are we doing Freedom Arcade tonight or no?
We can if you want.
If they've got all their castles, I guess we probably should tonight.
Yeah.
We'll do like an hour, 8:30 to 9:30 tonight. You want to do it? Let's do it. We got to knock it out, so let's do it. 8:30 p.m. Don't be paranoid, just be vigilant.
I'm very vigilant and probably a little too vigilant. I'm a little too jumpy.
Yes. Yeah. Stephanie, that's okay. I don't mind, actually. When we're out in public and Stephanie's really good about kind of like alerting you to what's going on around. She's a little bit overly paranoid, and that's okay. And it's fine. When we're at home, sometimes it's a little bit, come on now. But actually, we worked on our security sort of like attitude. I mean, we train karate and we talk about defense and things, but we talked about what to do if at night the the bad guys at the door, because I was like, whatever you do, don't start like screaming your head off.
Right.
Just like quietly alert me. And we had a night where there was a noise.
Not quietly alert.
And you woke up and you very quietly alerted me. Right? In which case, then Austin went into operator mode. And it's probably pretty sexy to watch me do that too, right?
Oh yeah, to get out the gun and the flashlight.
And like, if you got to learn how to fight naked as a man too. You got to practice. Gentlemen, if you're going to train naked.
You have like a little leaf covering your manly bits, like in the jungle. Okay.
If I ever shoot a home intruder and they don't mention it on the news, you could be damn sure that I was naked. So, and there may or may not be a teabagging. There may or may not be a teabagging in that criminal's future. So, hello everybody. Barney Styles says, that's how you gift a sub, but I don't want to gift a sub to a Rumble bot. No, I get that. I don't think we have a whole lot of bots in here.
Can someone gift you a sub? Can someone gift Barney a sub?
I think you have to give somebody else a sub, and you can't decide who it's for.
Isn't there a subscribe button? There has to be a subscribe button.
I thought there was a way to do a subscribe button, yeah. Are there any Bitcoin billionaires out there? Did you guys know that you can tip us in Bitcoin? And we would love if you would. Stephanie's birthday is coming up this Sunday. Happy birthday, Steffi.
Thank you. It's hard to believe. It really is.
Stephanie is going to be turning 29. Beautiful Stephanie. Here's a video of her from earlier.
Before we got married.
Yeah, this is like this was like right before Stephanie and I got married a few years ago.
My bachelorette party.
Yeah. Just kidding.
Oh, there's other women there too.
No, they're all part of the they're all part of the Hell Club.
They have blonde hair, those ladies.
Oh no!
What happened?
Oh well, I guess Drew did. He gifted a sub, and Barney got it. It worked!
Oh
yeah!
Yay! It went to the right person.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do just for you guys because you're all cool anyway. We're gonna go behind the paywall and end the stream everywhere else just because you guys are special and we love you. And if you're following us on X, if you're one of the 3 people watching us on Facebook, come on over to Rumble, rumble.com/AP4Liberty. It's way more fun. This is where all the community is anyway. So if you want to hang out with people like Drew Van Runkle and Barney Styles and Quest Fanning, there's just such a cool group of kids. Come over and join us at rumble.com/AP4Liberty. And if you're like, oh, I can't watch the show because it's like paywalled, somebody will totally buy you a sub. So just drop a comment in the live chat if you want a sub, and I promise you somebody will gift it to you. Okay, so we're a very generous community, and we're a very friendly, healthy community. So let's go ahead and go behind the paywall.